Namaste and welcome to Dragonfly Cookery and Knives. As promised, this is the review that I promised for the new offering by Condor Tool and Knives of a new cookery design that they just came out with. Now, it actually was introduced back in 2020 at the SHOT Show, but actually didn't get into production and come out to the public until the end of 2020. So when I was able to get my hands on one, I really haven't had a chance to use it much except for within the past couple days. So I have some a little bit of experiential knowledge with it, but this is more of a pretty close to a first impressions video, along with giving you an introduction in this excellent cookery designed by Joe Flowers for Condor Tool Knives. So to start off with, let's get the specifications out of the way. It has a 12.6-inch blade with a 18.8 inches overall. Thickness is 6 millimeters. That goes from the tang all the way to the tip bevel. So it's a solid piece of steel at 6 millimeters. The weight of the cookery in its scabbard, which is a leather scabbard, is 947 grams, which equates to 2 pounds, 1.4 ounces. The cookery itself, by itself, is 773 grams, which comes out to 1 pound, 11.3 ounces. The girth of the blade, or the belly of the blade, is 2.5 inches, or 2.5 inches. By all intents and purposes, it is the heavy-duty cookery on steroids, in that it's a bigger version of the heavy-duty cookery. And the reason why I say that is because in all other aspects it is identical. It has a saber grind. It's been blast finished on the sides with a satin finish on the cutting bevel and on the spine. Comes with hardwood handles, which is walnut with brass pins, and a brass lanyard tube. So it has all the same features that the heavy-duty cookery has, except for one important aspect, and I'm going to come up and show that, and that is this Chira, which is actually a fuller that lightens the blade and also works as an I-beam to strengthen and give bolster to the sweet area or the cutting area. It also helps reduce the reverberation to the hand when you're hitting the sweet spot. If you hit back here where there isn't the Chira, you'll feel it more in the hand than you will in this area where the Chira is. Now, Chiras are what a lot of traditional cookeries will have. They'll have one Chira or 2 Chiras, 3 Chiras. I was going to do an example or a comparison with one of my cookeries that has a Chira, but for the sake of time, I'm going to try to keep this fairly short. I have chosen to not show that, but it is a traditional aspect of cookeries. A lot of cookeries have it, and for the reasons why I just stated, because it does help strengthen that chopping area, and these are very much a prominent chopping tool. Now, another really nice thing about this is that the balance point is roughly, if I can stand back here a little bit, you can see the balance point is right there. That's where that balance point needs to be, and if I come up close, you'll see that that's where that Chira begins too, also. So this, Joe Flowers really got the balance of this cookery in the correct place. It's not handle heavy, but yet it has a 6-inch handle, and it's a full tang. And that full tang is the full width of the spine of this blade. It's that full 6 millimeters thick. So you would think that this would be a very handle heavy cookery, and yet it's not. You really feel the weight forwardness of the cookery itself, which is really great because that's going to facilitate the physics of this blade to do the chopping task in its proper way that it's supposed to and designed to do. So with that, let me give you a brief discussion about the quality of the scabbard. Now, it comes with a leather scabbard, which is vegetable tanned, has 2 retaining straps and your belt loop. Now, it is identical to all the all the machete scabbards that Condor Tool and Knives provides for majority of their machetes. There's a few that they do Codoras with, but majority of them will come with this quality leather scabbard. Now, as I mentioned in the video that I did, the heavy duty kukri review on, my snap broke. And that becomes a very dangerous element because there's nothing now to keep that kukri from falling out of its scabbard. And with the motion, with this belt loop, it going back and forth like this, it's very likely for that to come out. If it does, it could fall and actually injure the person using the kukri, or it could injure somebody else, or you definitely could lose your kukri. Especially if you're going close to a cliff or a steep mountainside and that comes out, you now lost your kukri, went down a slope that you're not likely to go chasing after it. And there goes your survival tool. So that's an important aspect. Now I'm going to do, I have this piece of wood that has a knot in it, which is a branch sticking through it. I'm going to try to go around it on this side here so it doesn't take a long time, but I just want to show you how this design works very well as a chopping tool. It makes it very relevant as a chopping tool. I'm going to get my paper, my notes out of the way here and try to get this lined up. Now I'm trying to align it with the sweet spot so I have more handle back than blade, and here we go. Now it's splitting pretty good right now, and it's going to split right around that knot, but I want to show how it divides that wood really well. With the geometry of the bevel here and the Chira, it's really allowing that to separate that wood very well. The other thing, as I'm beating on this, where the Chiras are, I don't feel the reverberation until I strike back here. Where there is no Chira, then I feel it in my hand. But when I'm striking up here, there's no reverberation. So that Chira is doing exactly what it's designed to do. That's the form follows function aspect of this. Now I'll just separate the wood there, and there we go. So I could do more, but I don't want to spend too much time on this because we have only a short period of time here. So this is just more for demonstration purposes. Now for choking up and doing feathers, I can definitely do that. And by drawing the kukri on its cutting edge, I can start doing some feathers. Now, because of the weight and because it's a little bit more cumbersome, it makes it a little bit harder to do. But you could do it if you had to. And of course, a bushcraft knife, a small utility knife would be better. and no doubt many of us carry that with us. But I just want to show that with this you can create some curls. And there you go. Now I'll do a notch on it. I'm going to use a different piece of wood for that. This piece of hardwood. And hopefully it's going to allow me to do a good notch. Go ahead and use my tools here. And we'll go right here. Get my notch area started. Okay. And then plane. Now again, drawing the knife down towards your notch, planes the wood very well and gives you, still maintains some good control. And here we got the beginning of the notch, as you can see. So, and it's nice and smooth right here, which means it's planing the wood, cutting the wood, not smashing or breaking the wood. Do a little bit of chopping here to show that as you chop, you can get some really good control and leverage, and it's cutting the wood, not breaking the wood, even for such a heavy cookery. Now I can choke it up like this and have better control if I wanted to. If I wanted to cut a bone in a particular place on a large game, I could do it, creating tent steaks, or I can go all the way back and get some extended leverage for chopping. And that really allows the inertia and physics of the blade to work for it. And to show and demonstrate very clean and smooth cutting surface that it has done. It doesn't smash or break the wood. It's actually cutting and shaving the wood. So with that being said, what is my overall opinion of this blade? I think it's excellent. And I think it's a better design than the heavy-duty Kukri is straight out the gate. What I like Alan Kay, I'm going to make my suggestions, and I'm going to agree with Alan Kay that it would be nice to see this Kukri with a Kydex scabbard, with a longer dangler, because this has such a long handle. It would be good to have that handle lower like this one is. With the leg ties, it will help minimize that movement of going back and forth. With the D-rings, it's nice because when you take that lanyard off, untie it, then you can move this aside without having to take it off its belt. But yet you still have the snaps here that you could take it and slide it off very easily. And then the other addition would be the micarta handles with the hollowed pins for your lanyard, which I think would be really great. And of course, they could do a green and a desert tan, like they did with the K-Tac Kukri. So we would have then the K-Tac King Kukri Machete. But right now, it's just the Condor Tool and Knives King Machete Kukri, designed by Joe Flowers. Excellent design. I think he did a superb job on this, and I think it's a very relevant Kukri, especially with that Chira. It works. It really works. So I hope you like this. Please like and subscribe on my YouTube channels. Leave any questions, comments, or even suggestions there. And also visit my Facebook page of Blue Dragonfly Trading Post and leave comments, questions, and requests as well there. Please visit my website at Dragonfly Kukri and Knives. And again, thank you for watching. And namaste. God bless. Stay healthy and safe.